Welcome to Africa's Leading Ladies. My name is Patricia Esikote. What started as a joke to Shazeen Bhatt turned into a money-making machine. This is our story.
We started as an ice cream business, not a bakery. So I actually started with making ice cream. So me and a couple of my friends were gathering up. So I was like, I made ice cream because I was just curious, and I was like, guys, try this out. And like, wow, this is really good, but change this and change this. I was like, okay. So they're like, you know, the texture is still a bit off. This and this needs to change, maybe the flavor a bit. And I was like, okay, fine. And maybe it needs to be a bit more stable. So I was like, okay, fine, let me try again. So the next time I tried it, I tried making it again, and I was like, okay guys, try this. And everyone was like, oh my God, this is so amazing. Oh my God, this is so amazing. And I was like, you guys are just gassing me up. And they're like, no, for real, it's amazing. And you can sell this. And I was like, now I know you're lying. And my friends were like, no, try it. Like really try it. And I was like, okay, fine. Then a friend of ours was also opening up a bakery. So actually they're the ones who gave me the opportunity to start off there. So they had me supplying the ice cream to their place. And it was actually moving, which was surprising. And for me, it was shocking because I was like, it's something that just started out as a joke between, you know, me and my friends and me just trying something new. But it actually became like a full-fledged business. Next thing I knew, I also was supplying to a cafe that was also nearby the bakery I was supplying as well. And that's how it started. So I saved up over time. And then I also started baking now. Because now I do ice cream cakes, I do, you know, baked goods in a different way. I do pies and stuff like that for people. And people will try it and they're like, wow, this is actually really good. And I tried different flavors, and guys really liked it and enjoyed it. And that made me really happy, because I like when people enjoy my food, because I love entertaining people. I love entertaining people. I love cooking for people. Like whenever we're in a group of people, I'm always the one who ends up cooking. So for me, it was great to be able to share that with so many people. I'm doing what I love. I am doing what I love. This is genuinely what I love. For me, because for me, for a very long time, it's really hard to get like healthier options. You know, that those times you're trying to maybe get yourself fitter, get yourself healthier, but you're maybe a sweet tooth and you're really trying, but it's really hard, and you really have to stay away from all these other things. So by doing things like, we offer gluten-free services, we offer sugar-free services, we offer vegan services, just to be able to give people that chance, that option to be able to live a healthier lifestyle and still be able to eat what you want to eat. So for my baking process, I usually start with the egg yolks and my sugar. And I usually prior beat up my egg white separately as well. Just because I find that gives more of a fluffier and a lighter cake. So it technically feels like you're eating a sponge cake. Like it's really soft, it's really airy, because you've beaten up so much air into this. So it gives it a way lighter texture. I like using vegetable oil. Most bakers tend to use like Crisco or like condensed vegetable fat. Now for me, I try to keep it as healthy as possible. So the reason I choose vegetable oil, and this is specifically sunflower oil, it's not been hydrogenated. So that means your system can break it down easily as compared to maybe other hydrogenated fats or saturated fats, because they always have that added hydrogen component. It makes it difficult for your body to break it down. So for me, I try to keep it as holistic as possible. Yes. Now, like I said before, I like to put in as much air as possible into the cake, just to give it, also it gives, apart from the light texture, the thing about putting in more air, it gives you more volume. So you'll find what a standard 1 kg cake in another bakery is way bigger in volume maybe for this. Now for today, this will probably be what a standard 1 kg cake is in most bakeries, because we're doing gluten-free cake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You see the thing about this, once how the machine works, how a mixer works, when you're beating in, like for example the eggs, when you're once it's doing the circular motion within the egg, it's literally putting in air into that egg to be able to give it like a frothy, foamy texture. That would give it that lightness, that airiness, so it feels like you're literally eating a cloud. Yes. Yeah, so I'll have you help me here. So we sift in the flour, just again to give it that soft, spongy, light, airy.
Have you added any other?
Yes, I've added already added baking powder and a bit of salt. Now the reason I add a bit of salt to my baked goods is it helps bring out the sugar a bit more. Yes, they complement each other well. So it's always good to add a bit of sugar whenever you're doing your pastries or your baked goods. Once I can feel like the color and the sugar and the wet ingredients have combined, you can usually tell from the consistency once it's creamed in. Now what helps is sometimes because of the water component, the sugar does take a bit of time to cream, but once you put in the flour, it does make it easier. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna be doing next. I taught myself everything from scratch. I always had an interest in baking and cooking and stuff, and I always loved experimenting because I found things got boring. Sometimes we do the same thing over and over again and it gets boring, and I wanted to try new flavors, wanted to try new things, wanted to see how different ingredients can come together to make something different, and that's how it started. Just out of curiosity, and then it also came into, now I'd make it for family or friends and people would be like, oh my god, this is amazing, how'd you do this? And I'm like, okay. I was just trying, and you know, that's how I started, with people telling me, you know, this is actually something great, this is actually something really good, it's something we'd buy. So that's how it started. I've made a point of teaching myself everything that I do. I've done a lot of research. I do take quite a few maybe international online courses to do with food, to do with even the business aspect of things, just to be able to get to where I am. The thing about cooking and food is every sensory organ you have applies. So that gives you the whole experience. You've got to think about the flavor, how it tastes. Like if you bite into it, what are you gonna get from the texture? Is it something chewy? Is it something soft and airy? You know, that will also produce like a certain sound when you're eating. So that complements that flavor. And then you have the visuals that complements, now that's on the decorating side. How is that gonna appeal to you? Because the first thing you do is see it. And the other thing, you smell it. So it's got to smell good. It's got to look good. And then now once you eat it, it's got the taste. And then also when you touch it, like what's the consistency? Is it gonna be greasy? Is it gonna be soft? You know? And then also you're taking into account like when you're eating it, the texture, the flavors, what are you getting out of that? So for me, I take all that into account when I'm baking. I like experimenting with my flavors and my tastes. So I do like doing a lot of different flavor combinations just to keep things interesting. So like you'll find we have like a lemon meringue cake, you have like a tiramisu cake, you know, and today we're actually doing a roseberry cake. So it's a combination of strawberry and rose extract. For me, the clients I'm targeting are people who are trying to live a healthier lifestyle, people who are looking for variety but can't find it. That's the most important thing to me, especially the health part of it. That's something that I feel very passionately about, because for me, it's something I have struggled with, like trying to eat healthy and still be able to eat something that you'd like or something that you see. So for me, that's been really important for me. And I think, like, for example, the gluten-free market is something that's not been tapped in Kenya, and if it has, it's on a very, very minimal scale. And most of the things that we do have that are gluten-free are all imported, like maybe 2, 3, 4 people that you can count that actually venture and do things that are gluten-free for people here in the country. So for me, that's the market I'm trying to target. I have gotten a few clients who are on that scale, and I'm still venturing out to, you know, expand that market as well.
Remember, we like to hear from you, so keep in touch with us at Fanaka Digital on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and check our Instagram page to share your thoughts about our shows or who you would like us to feature. We admire women who shaped history across the continent, and today we feature the first woman to win the Nobel Peace Prize, Professor Wangari Maathai. Kenya, unemployment is one thorn hurting the economy. Kenyan agribusiness could be the perfect path to wealth and job creation. These are some of the business ideas in this sector. That's all we had for you this week. But remember to keep in touch on Facebook and Twitter and keep the conversation going. For now, take care. We will see you once again next week. I have been your host, Patricia Esikote.